Welcome back, folks. Quick little ditty on euro dollar. I'm going to show you how super simple Forex is. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Just be like ICT and use this replay button. Oh, you weren't ready for that, were you? Once you take a look at this right here. Okay, this run up in here. This was on Thursday, the 3rd, June 3rd, 2021. And I want you to look at this last up close candle right there. That's a bearish order block. I'm very confident that if price goes up to that and hits the bottom of that candle, it's going to sell off and go below this low. It might even go down to here. Any bets? Any side bets? Let's watch. This is a completely random walkthrough. Nobody knows what the next candle is going to look like. Oh, see that? It didn't go up like I was hoping it would. But if it goes up to this, right there, I got short right there. I took a trade in that candle right there. I went short. So now I'm looking for price to go down. Run hard through this low here and attack that low. Because Forex is so easy. It's easy, folks. Anybody can do what I'm doing right here. Anyone. Look at this. We're going up. Well, we aren't going up. The euro is going down, as you can see here. But, hey, you got to stick with the plan. You got to trade your plan. And euro just keeps on melting. Look at that. See that? We went below this low right here. Forex is so easy. Look at that. Completely random. Nobody could have ever guessed it was going to do this. Look at that. Now I'm getting out. I'm taking some profits here. And I would collapse the trade right there. So that would be an example of how I trade. Now, isn't that easy? It's easy, right? Well, I don't expect you to believe that. And I don't do these types of things here, drawing up these boxes. And as you can hear in my pantomime, I can't even do a good job of faking. So this is garbage. Okay, this is what everybody does when they don't know what they're doing. So I'm going to take this off here. And again, just show you real quick. This is the level. Right there. So when it trades up on this candle, I absolutely entered on that candle. Okay, at 121.93 and 6 pipettes. That's my price. It's not hindsight. It's none of that stuff. Okay, but I want to go into why it did that. And I'll show you proof. Here is that same day on a 15-minute time frame. Bearish order block right here. This is the New York kill zone. It begins at 7 o'clock in the morning, New York time, and ends here at 11 a.m. Now, you're probably familiar with the 8:30 in the morning to 11. That just gives you a real clean focus point around the 8:30 news embargo lifting, where usually the news drivers come out around 8:30 in the morning. And you learn that in my tutorials on this YouTube channel. But in here, I want you to take a look at how this high here coupled with this high right there. See that swing high? Why am I pointing out that one? Because this one here starts this whole price leg to that low. This whole price leg ends and begins at these two reference points. So if you apply your fib to that range, you can get a clear visual representation of overbought when it gets to 62 to 79% retracement level. And you see it running right up into there. Now, when it does this, I'd like to go into the marketplace and fade that. But I'd like to do it when I have retail traders that will give an opinion about what they think the market's going to do. And if I can find the retail crowd, the less informed traders, thinking that this is going to go up, then I know my chances of being correct in the move is more likely to occur. But what happens if this optimal trade entry forms ahead of the New York session? Then I just simply use the order block, because it's not going to always come back up and give me another optimal trade entry on this high. So I'm using the framework from the previous day, crossing over midnight, and this is a Judas swing right in here. So all of this right here is a fake rally, and it gets retail traders really worked up and thinking that it's going to go higher. And I'm not thinking that. Okay, I did not think that on that day. In fact, I went on over to Twitter. I saw a young man over there that's got a lot of things to say about everyone else, and we've had history with each other about a year ago, and I asked him to start showing his entries in trade management. Wasn't willing to do that, but he says he's doing all kinds of trades before he shares his tweets. And I saw this one here. Okay, and you probably are familiar with this guy here. He's from AstroFX. And he says here on this tweet, and it's dated June 3rd, 2021 at 6:10 a.m. Well, he wants to buy euro. Here's euro. And he wants to buy it. Okay. So now I have a retail trader saying that they want to be long in here, and they think it's going to go up. When I'm looking at this market thinking, we started breaking this low here, and we broke this low here. So what is market structure really indicating here? That it's bearish. It's not bullish. So any rally here has to be seen as what? A false engineered rally. So price is going to go up like this just to create an overbought condition. What's the overbought condition? Well, we're this high at this candle's high in relationship to this high over here. So we're well above 80% of the range, high and low. We retraced that far. I don't need an indicator to tell me it's overbought. I can see it visually in price. So when we broke this up close candle here and came back up into it right there, I'm entering short. I entered short and used a 10 pip stop loss. I was looking for 50 pips, and I managed it on the way down and collapsed it in several places on partials. Now, on TradingView, there's this little feature right here where you can make it obvious that when someone says they took a trade or they entered and they pushed a button, you click this little thing right here and watch these little arrows pop up over here. Watch, it's really neat. See that? There's a little arrow right there. See that? And here's a partial where I took some of the trade off. There, 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 and there. I'll do it real quick so you can see I'm not painting them. I'm not putting them on manually. So my question is this. If all these guys on YouTube and Instagram are calling each other out and there's all these Forex guru battles going on, why do they keep avoiding me? I'm here all the time. I'm not running or hiding from anyone. In fact, Sean, I'm calling you out again. Go over to the setting that I call everybody to, where it's audited, where you are really in there with a microscope over top of you. Because I've already shown you here again that I'll trade you, I will fade you, and I can do it every single day. I can open up a live stream every day and call the market and give levels and targets and put you out of business this week. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you want to see me derail AstroFX. Now let's watch the video. Alright, so we're going to go over to TradingView. This is where I actually did the entry. You can watch me put the stop in. The entry goes in. And I give you the time actually runs lower. So I'm going to tell you when it's going to move. I'm going to tell you what direction. I'm pushing a button. I'm getting in. You can see my stop. I don't open my stop up wider once I get in. So we're watching here Euro on the left hand side. This is an hourly chart. And on the right hand side we see the dollar index. It's a 15-minute time frame. And right here I'm looking on Twitter and I'm noticing all the nonsense of this mentioned earlier in this video. So I'm setting it up like I'm going to do what he's going to do, which is wrong. But this is all pantomime, as you'll see in a moment. So I'm going to click the buy button, right, and do what he says. I see something different. Everything I just outlined in the video, I see in the chart. Now I have other screens, obviously. I have multiple screens when I'm looking at the price, and I'm going to comment here and tell you what I'm about to do and why. So there you go. Now I'm short, right when AstroFX wants to be long. Pretty reasonable stop, 10 pips. It's not that big of a deal. But when you go through a day-by-day routine of calling yourself a king or a trade god, that no one's on your level, well, I can attest that I'm not on your level, Sean. You're about 50 levels below me when I was 20. Now, some of you may be asking, why am I doing a video like this? And is my videos going to start going this direction? No. But I answer everybody that talks smack, and I prove that I know what I'm talking about. Because the common misnomer is ICT stands for I can't trade. But I can, and I prove it, and I show executions. All those yahoos over on Instagram, they don't push any buttons. They don't call it out loud. They don't say what's going to happen. They don't manage to stop, and their targets don't get hit. They throw a whole bunch of ideas out there, and whatever sticks, they'll pump that. So you can see the arrow appeared on the right hand side on that 15-minute time frame. That's my entry. And I'm going to outline that low, and I'm going to tell you in the recording that at 8:15 a.m. the algorithm is going to reprice euro dollar under there, and I'll look to take first partials off. Now first partial is important as a new trader, as a developing trader, and that's what I'm illustrating here. I could have easily just left it and let it do the entire daily range and been done with it, but I like to teach by example. I teach in this YouTube channel, and even in my mentorship, that you need to take something off. And there you go. You can see me finding the targets down there, and as price, meandering around in here in that little consolidation, I know it's not likely to move yet. I'm positioned ahead of time, and I feel very strong convictions that the 8:15 a.m. news on Thursday, June 3rd, 2021, is employment numbers, and the algorithm is going to use that volatility to reprice lower. It's not that there's a lot of sellers coming in. It's not an absence of buyers. It's repricing at the central bank level. There's no market makers with MT4 managers sliding the spreads, making it go down there. Okay, this is not Steve Morrow. Okay, that's all nonsense. It's crap. All that stuff is fake. It's all fiction. It's fiction. I'm doing this like I've always done. I will come out here and prove it to you. Every single step of the way, from beginning to end. So we're watching that low on the left-hand side, that low at 21.64 and 2 pipettes. Underneath there is sell stops, because retail traders think this is going to go up. So where's their stop loss at? Right below that low. So that's why I want to take first partials there. So now it's 8 o'clock. At the top of the hour, in 15 minutes, the news is going to release the data for employment numbers. And I'm telling you right here, and I'm being a little bit of a facetious individual, of course, but they asked for this. So I am giving you a time. You can see the time in the lower right hand corner. You can also see that that replay button is not being employed here. The candles are painting, they're going up and down as they form. The replay button doesn't do that. It just gives you a complete candle. You can see the open profit or loss is ticking away. And all I'm doing is watching the time. I'm looking at that clock. It's about to turn to 12 minutes past 8 o'clock. Now we have 2 minutes left. And watch the reaction of euro right at 8:15. It goes exactly where I said it was going to go. Down. Doesn't whipsaw around. It goes lower, takes that short-term low on the 15-minute time frame. Now it's going to target the hourly low, which has that red line. I have my order ready to take my first partial off. And all I'm doing is watching price. My eye is right at that red level. And once price dips underneath it, I'm going to hit the button that my mouse is hovering over top of partial close. I'm not looking at the profit and loss. I'm not looking at anything. Now I'm looking to close it. So now that takes the majority of the trade off. So I booked a pseudo profit on that because this is a paper trade. I'm not licensed to give trade advice, but I'm proving conceptual theory and understanding. And if you can't get that from this, I'm sorry.